for the purposes of today's proceeding, I have an alleged violation here. States that you failed to report to probation. Let me make sure this is the accurate violation. Yes, it states that you failed to report to probation back in July and August of 2021, and that you violated your probation by using cocaine while on probation as evidenced by positive lab results at Adam, and then that you failed to submit to PBT and or urinalysis back on May 6th, June 1st, and July 5th, and that you provided invalid or diluted tests back on June 24th and August 6th. Lastly, there's an allegation that you failed to complete the criminal risk needs assessment and follow-up. So you've had opportunity to be advised by counsel. Your counsel indicates that you do not wish to have a hearing. You want to enter a guilty plea. Is that accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Again, sir, you have the right to have a contested hearing. You have the right to have probation, and the prosecution brings sufficient evidence to establish that you violated the terms of your probation by committing the acts just read to you prior to administering the oath. And so you want to waive that examination. I'm sorry, you want to waive that hearing. Is anybody promising you anything to get you to waive the hearing?
No, Your Honor.
Is anybody threatening to get you to plead guilty today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. As to the violation that you failed to report to your probation officer back in July and August 2021, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay. Did you report back in July and August to your probation officer?
Not that I can recall, Your Honor.
Okay. As to the violation that you used cocaine while on probation as evidenced by positive lab results of 961 nanograms per milliliters of benzoylecgonine per atom, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay. And were you ordered to go and test at Adam?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay. Okay. It doesn't give me a date, but it states that you tested positive for cocaine. Are you disputing that happened?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so you did use cocaine?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you knew you were using cocaine when you used it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And you knew that was in violation of your probationary terms?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you don't have a valid prescription for cocaine, do you?
Right. Oh, my judge is on the bench. Okay, hold on.
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, so as to the violation that you failed to submit to PBT and or your analysis back on May 6th, June 1st, July 5th, and that you provided invalid or diluted tests back on June 24th and August 6th of 2021, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay, did you go and test back on the 6th of May or the 1st of June or the 5th of July?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
Okay, why is that?
I didn't have the money to pay for the drug test, nor did I have a ride.
Okay, and then what happened on June 24th and August 6th? Did you provide a diluted or invalid sample?
I assume so, yes. I mean, if I did give a sample, that time was a haze for me, Your Honor. I apologize but yes, I gave diluted samples.
Okay, you said it's a haze for you. Why is it a haze?
Because I was using.
Thank you.
I don't really remember much from that time, to be honest with you.
Okay, thank you. And as to violation number 15, that you failed to complete the criminal risk needs assessment and follow-up, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay, did you complete that, sir?
No, I have not, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Donnelly, any additional factual basis?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, the court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. I find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. Recommendation is to either continue, if you make a decision that you will uh, begin or remain to be compliant with the terms of your probation, or to terminate your probation, and jail will be left to the discretion of the court. Ms. Donnelly, did you want to address the court?
Thank you, Your Honor. After speaking with Mr. Alanes, he says that he would like to continue with probation. He does admit that he had slipped off the wagon and he has decompensated, but on his own, he did get into, he was hospitalized a few times. It was, like I said, drug use, as well as, unfortunately, some serious depression and suicidal ideation. So he checked himself in a couple of months for in the hospital. He has since gone to rehab. He did residential, he did a full 25 days in residential treatment. He is now in RISE, so he's in transitional housing, has been for 2 weeks. He did an intake for intensive outpatient at MMRS, and he's just waiting to get scheduled for that. What he said, that he drug testing for him, they charged $30 a time every time, and he does he tests twice a month, so that's $60 a month. And he's on disability, so he does struggle with paying for certain things, but he did pay off his fines and costs. That was a violation that Mr. Ledesma did withdraw. So I like I said, he wants to be continued on probation. I would like the court to consider the fact that he did get himself into rehab. He did get himself into RISE, and he is in transitional housing right now, and intending to go through intensive outpatient services. I've explained to him that he does want the criminal risk assessment done. He's hoping, he has a case manager at CMH. So he's hoping that between all of his services and Mr. Ledesma, he can figure out how to get the criminal risk assessment, Your Honor. But with that, again, we just ask that he can be continued on probation. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, I want to first commend you for taking the steps necessary to get admitted into some treatment, and recognizing that you had a concern. I'm happy that you did that, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
What you're going to need to do is, if you're going to remain on probation, is you need to make sure you're in communication with your probation officer, that you are remaining compliant with the terms of your probation. If you're already testing through the RISE recovery, that information should be provided to your probation officer. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to continue your probation at this time. Looks like you were just you were put on 18 months of probation, and that was back in April. I'm not going to extend it at this time. Just going to continue. You'll continue the programming that you're doing through the RISE recovery, and any additional recommendations that they have. I know you're in transitional housing, but keep your probation officer up to date with what's going on. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any questions today, sir?
No, I do not.
Any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set, sir.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, who do we have here again?
My name is Jasmine Shefka. I'm with Dawn's associate attorney, and then we have Mr. Ricky Evans.
Okay, Mr. Evans. Mr. Evans is set for a page. Okay. record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Ricky Lamont Evans, file numbers 21-02676. FY council appearance.
Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Erin Housefield on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jasmine Shefkat on behalf of defendant Ricky Evans, who is bound on my right.
Thank you. Today's the date that was set for a hearing on a violation of bond, what we call a PA 52 violation. The underlying matter is scheduled for preliminary examination on the 2nd of December. And so Mr. Evans, this was set for a violation hearing because you were supposed to report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release from custody or your arraignment, and that you were supposed to contact them or check in with them regularly. We have notes here that the reporting investigator attempted to call you regarding your failure to enroll in pretrial services. They received an automated message indicating your mailbox was full. They contacted your attorney's office on more than one occasion. And as of the date of the notification of the violation, which was on the 1st of this month, you had not reported nor had you enrolled in pretrial services, which was a bond condition. So you have the right to have a contested hearing on this if you would like. If you are guilty of the violation that's alleged, your bond can be revoked. You can be sitting in jail until the time of your trial. Do you understand that? Okay. How do you want to plead at this time?
We are pleading guilty. We are not contesting the bond violation. I would like to add, for the court's consideration, Mr. Evans has been in contact with pretrial services since the show cause, and the reason that he did not get in contact with pretrial services is his phone was off. He had a different phone number, and our office was also calling the wrong phone number, but we have since clarified all the communication errors. So pretrial services has his correct phone number, our office has his correct phone number, and I can guarantee that he will be at every court date. And we just ask that this court consider that.
What's his phone number?
You know it off the top of your head. You say it.
517-894-7760.
And are you still at the address on Capitol?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I do see that we have a different number for you. So we've updated our file as well with your correct information. You have been in contact with them. You're going to be checking in weekly. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions about your requirements or your bond conditions from this point out?
No.
Okay. The court's going to accept your plea to the violation and continue your bond as is. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
Nothing from the defense. Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set. Okay, let's see. We have a whole bunch of people here. Wilson.